Okay, mini twists are a protective style, but your chunky two-strand twist, not so much. And the same goes for those jumbo braids. Yeah. We need to stop calling every long-lasting style protective, because if your hair is still breaking underneath it, what exactly is it protecting? Now, before we move on to the wigs video, which will be the next upload, I just wanted to clarify something real quick, because I know some of you are here thinking, hold on, aren't mini twists and chunky twists the same style? And aren't mini braids and regular braids the same, just smaller? So why is one considered protective and the other low manipulation? Well, let me break it all the way down for you, because this is where a lot of people get confused and low-key ruin their progress without even realizing it. Alright, let's get clear on something. A true protective style must do three things. One, it must tuck away your ends. Two, it must minimize how often you handle your hair. And three, it must lock in moisture for an extended period. So if your style isn't doing all three, it's not protective. At best, it's just low manipulation, and at worst, it's stylish damage. All right, so let's talk about mini twists versus chunky twists. Now, mini twists, they tend to last 2 to 4 weeks. They keep the ends tucked and coiled and give you full access to oil your scalp and refresh your moisture. Now, that's protection and low manipulation. But chunky twists, or those, you know, big old two-strand twists we'll all love to throw in like for a real quick style or something, you know, they unravel easily, they leave your ends out, and usually have you retwisting them by day 3 or so, right? And that's not protective. That's high maintenance wrapped in a low effort disguise. All right, now as it pertains to medium-sized twists, now they're like borderline. If they last a couple weeks and your ends are sealed properly, you might be okay, but most of the time they're just like low manipulation styles dressed up as something more, right? So the difference is, again, how often a style is allowing you to rest and not touch your hair. So with mini twists, because you're not touching your hair as often as you would in chunky twists, mini twists will be considered a protective style, because again, one of the 3 things that must be done to be considered a protective style is that it's keeping your hands out of your hair. And the same thing goes for your braids. You know, you have mini braids, which are lightweight, they last 3 to 6 weeks, give you scalp access and tuck your ends for real protection. Now, they are the blueprint for retention. But chunky braids, they unravel quickly, leave your ends exposed, and often require restyling, which means more manipulation than you think. Now, as for medium braids, they can work, but that's if they're installed with the right tension, properly sealed at the ends, and left alone for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Otherwise, it's just another style that looks protective but doesn't act like it. Now, here's where it gets juicy and where most people get it twisted. Not all protective styles are low manipulation. Not at all. Now, when we talk about protective, this means your ends are protected and exposure is reduced. So think box braids, faux locks, lace wigs. They tend to shield the hair from friction, the weather, and environmental stress. And as for low manipulation, this means minimal daily handling. So you want to think about twist outs, chunky braids, wash and goes, which equals less styling, less combing, and ultimately less breakage. But here's the problem. Some protective styles come with tension, glue, frequent relaying of your edges, or hours-long installs and takedowns. So even if the ends are tucked, your strands are still going through a lot, and that's not low manipulation. So just because your ends are hidden doesn't mean your hair isn't being overhandled, and that's why we separate the two. A style can be protective without being low manipulation, and vice versa. So mini twists and mini braids give you the best of both worlds, low manipulation and protection. The chunky versions, they're cute, quick and convenient, but they don't always offer that same long-term benefit. And if you're constantly restyling, that should be a clue that it is not protective. Now, if you want to know which styles actually help your hair grow and which ones are silently sabotaging your progress, go ahead and grab my Here We Grow Complete Styling Guide, where it breaks down dozens of styles based on growth, retention, and hydration, and it's only free until August 20th, 2025, and after that it becomes a paid resource. Okay, also you would want to get the style prep guide, which walks you through exactly how to prep your hair before installing a long-term protective style, from moisture to scalp care to sealing those ends. You can get both guides at my website, and that will be linked in the description bar below. But on screen it's www.herewegrow.store. Now go ahead and tell me in the comments, what styles have you been calling protective that might not be? Because I know I used to throw in a chunky twist and think I was doing something, and I wasn't doing anything at all, right? And don't forget, the next upload is all about wigs, the good, the bad, and the truth no one is telling you. You're gonna want to hear this one, okay? So subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next one.